Hello, hello. We're about ready to get going here. Got a live stream. We're about to pop up here on WHS11, our Facebook. We've got YouTube, and just waiting to get on the WHS11 Plus app, which gives you time to download the WHS11 app if you'd like to do that. Of course, you got news programming, weather, much more on the app as well. Let me share our Facebook Live tonight to my page. This is Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine in the Weather Impact Team Weather Center on this February the 17th, 2025 at 9:46. Let me go ahead and share this to one more page. And then we'll be ready to rock and roll. Talking about river flooding, we're talking about snowfall on the way. Maybe a little light coating tomorrow morning, and then a heavier snow for parts of the area tomorrow night and into Wednesday morning. And we got that shared. And we'll be up here on WHS11 Plus channel and app here very, very soon. And again, plenty to talk about here tonight at 9:47. Thanks for tuning in here and waiting just a couple more seconds. Maybe a good time to like or share our live stream. That always helps out. Communicate with some more folks here tonight. Oh, what a winter it has been. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to get to as many questions as possible. Try to keep the forecast as simple as possible as well. Thankfully, it's just snow that we're talking about. We're not worried about any ice, and we're not worried about sleet or anything like that. Okay, looks like we are up on the plus. Cut to me here. Hey, I'm Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine in the WHS11 Weather Impact Weather Center here at 9:48 p.m. on this February 17th, 2025, and on this Monday, fun day Monday, coming off flooding, coming off some snow and some wind and some horrible conditions yesterday. And now ramping up for another snow chance with winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings for parts of the area. We're going to cover all this and what to expect and time it out as well. We kind of have a little appetizer of snow that'll come through overnight, early tomorrow morning, maybe a light coating, maybe a few slick spots with that. But the main course, so to speak, is going to be heading our way tomorrow night and into Wednesday. So let me go ahead and pop up the weather graphics. That's why we have a weather impact alert time period here for you. That's going to cover 7 p.m. Tuesday when we start to see some of that snow coming up from the southwest and west, and then continuing through the overnight and into our Wednesday morning. All right, so thanks for tuning in here, and let's go ahead and move ahead, and we'll take a look at the winter weather alerts that we have for our area. So the light purple, that's purple in my eyes. I mean, feel free to call it whatever color you think it is, but it looks like light purple to me. I don't think I'm colorblind. But sometimes on TV they look blue. Anyway, light purple, I-64 north. That's the winter weather advisory. Now, you typically get a winter weather advisory around our area. The criteria is different for different parts of the country, but here in Kentucky and Indiana, 1 to 3 inches is winter weather advisory criteria. So we're looking at about 2 to 3 inches in southern Indiana, northern Kentucky, north of Interstate 64. And then you go south of Metro Louisville, the dark purple, royal blue, navy, I don't know, that darker shading is the winter storm warning. All right, so that's when you get the potential for 4 inches plus. That's when you get a winter storm warning. That's the difference between the winter weather advisory, winter storm warning. 1 to 3 for the advisory, 4 inches plus potential for a winter storm warning. So that's Bullitt County south in generally around 3 to 6 inches. Weather models have been fluctuating a little bit less kind of lately. They'll nudge up. And these weather models, by the way, depending on which one you're looking at, some of them update hourly, sometimes several times a day. So it just depends on what weather model you're looking at. We've got a bunch of different weather models. You're just looking for the overall agreement in the weather models and the weather models that you trust the most. That's our snow potential for tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. All right, so this is the other thing that we're watching, the residual flooding from some areas got around 5 inches of rainfall Saturday night. Unfortunately, just a devastating situation for much of Kentucky. So the river flooding on the smaller river systems, we're cresting now and tomorrow, like Salt, Green River, Rolling Fork, at some spots, major flood level. Then you got the Ohio River downtown. It's right around 23 feet is flood stage for the upper gauge, and the forecast is to go to around 27, a little bit above that, so about 4 feet above minor flood stage level. And we're already starting to see it kind of creep up onto the banks of the waterfront lawn. So very swollen Ohio River is what we have out there. It's very cold temperatures as well, and we're going to get to the timeline of that snowfall here in just 1 second. So 24 and 26 are current temperatures. It's just a light breeze. Upper teens are the wind chills. And current temps across the area a little colder in Indiana, 19 in Seymour, Mitchell, right there around Bedford, Lawrence County, 19 in Paoli. And then you've got 25 in Hodgenville and in Frankfort and Shepherdsville and Litchfield, lower 20s in LaGrange and Carrollton. Our high today at 28, 21 degrees below normal, and we're going to stay below freezing through Friday. That means what snow we get Wednesday will be sticking around for a while, and untreated roads could stay snow covered for a while as well, maybe days, as we likely won't get above freezing until Saturday afternoon. Hey, Beverly, thanks for tuning in here. So we're just looking at some light snow and some flurries developing out in Illinois, a lot of it fading away as it moves into our area, starting to see some snow towards Kansas City. And they're looking at some heavier snow out west of us than what we're going to get out towards Missouri out of this system. So again, fading away into our drier areas, a couple flurries, a lot of that not making it to the ground. So some of that snow developing on the edge of that Arctic air, where you see minus teens and 20s in the northern Midwest and the northern plains, southern Canada. And now is the timeline of the snow. So overnight tonight, notice that we do start to see some little batches of some light snow. This is around 3 o'clock in the morning. And so don't be surprised. This first one, again, I'm kind of calling it the appetizer. It's just a little bit of light snow around tomorrow morning, might cause a couple slick spots, might get a ½ inch or less out of that initial just light batch. That's early tomorrow morning. Notice we're starting off in the lower teens to the lower 20s from southern Indiana into central Kentucky. Tomorrow afternoon, we're still dry and we're still really cold. North wind at 5 to 10 and mostly cloudy across the area. Hi, Rebecca. Yeah, a little bit of snow there for Clark County in the winter weather advisory, that 2 to 3 inch area. All right, now we're going to go to around 7, 8 o'clock, and we're starting to see some of that snow move in from the south. The winter weather advisories and the warnings, they start at 7 p.m., but a lot of times you're not going to get the impacts until, deeper into that advisory or warning. There's always kind of a buffer when they begin and when they end. A lot of times they will end sooner before their actual expiration time. So again, our advisories and warnings start 7 p.m. tomorrow and last until noon Wednesday. All right, a little bit deeper into the nighttime. So some of this latest weather model data that just came in recently has shifted most of that snow a little bit more south. So could the advisories and warnings change here over the next 24 hours? Certainly can. When you get new data, you adjust the forecast. So the system, if it's not as strong, if there's not as much moisture to work with, if it's just pulling in some drier air, that can adjust the snowfall totals downward, especially over the northern half of the area. Ryan, PRP, well, take a look here. We're going to look at some of the latest data coming in. Might be shifting down a little bit, but right now you guys are the 2 to 3. All right, so snow wraps up pretty much Wednesday morning. We might get a little bit of a batch of light snow Wednesday night as well. So here's the futurecast snowfall totals. Hold up a second. Hold up a second. So this is this overnight batch. So like the northern half of the area could see about a ½ inch or less. This is for overnight tonight. So I-64 north, just watch out for a few slick spots tomorrow morning. I'm waiting for some new data to come in. This might take just a second. Waiting for the contours to arrive, but I can tell you the numbers have gone down with our latest data that's coming in. So again, may have to adjust downward if this trend continues. Mount Washington, contours are not wanting to arrive. The data is not wanting to pop in here. Let me see if I can. Let's do a little experiment here. See if I can pop up the last weather model run from a little bit earlier today. Just give me 1 second here to adjust a little bit of data. Oops. I need to put that to yesterday, save, close. All right, so this is from earlier today. All right, take a peek here. So this was the information that we had earlier today. Katie, it could, yeah, a couple slick spots will be possible. Lauren, yeah, it's trending more south. So you guys might not get much at all. All right, so let's do this let's look at the data together here. All right, so this was earlier this morning's model run, showing anywhere from around 2 to 6 inches. You got your 1 to 3 where the advisory is, I-64 north. And then you've got 3 to 6, let's say, in the warning area, which is Bullitt County south. Now, let me pop in here the latest data coming into our system. Let me close that out. Problem is, it's probably still coming in. It's probably still chugging on the data. All right, so here is the latest data. So this is a lot lighter. It's looking like 1 to 2 in the advisory area, which would still be a winter weather advisory because it's 1 to 3. And then you can see lighter, the more heftier snowfall totals are getting pushed farther down to the south. So is the system pulling in drier air? Is it weaker? Maybe we're getting some more of that data coming in. So again, not looking like a monster snowstorm or anything like that, but any of this snow is going to stick on contact because of how cold it's going to be. It's going to be in the teens as the snow falls. So I'll probably post this map on my Facebook page here in a minute once we get done with this, just to show you the trends. Always follow the trends, adjust the forecast as you go. I know I got comments last week about this storm because there were a bunch of maps that were getting posted out. of like 12 inches of snow. Like all kinds of crazy maps all over the place if you follow different meteorologists from around the region. And again, a lot of times you'll see that because, I mean, you can find a lot of bad things with the weather model a week or two out. It doesn't mean it's real or it's going to happen. I mean, the storms that are a week or two out aren't even in the United States. They're not even, they're mathematical. So then you wait for better data, which means the weather balloons actually going into the storm. Once the storm comes into the West Coast, you start to get sampling. All that goes into the weather models that are just calculating all this incredible amount of information. And then you start to get better data as you get close. But if you're trying to be the first one to throw out these scary maps, I posted about this last week, that I did not think that we were going to get a monster storm, even though people were texting me about it. You can be the first to be the worst if you're putting out those maps all the time. You'll get a lot of clicks, you'll get a lot of shares, but you'll be first to be worst. I like to wait until I see some agreement in the weather model data. I waited longer with this system because the data just wasn't looking good. It was fluctuating all over the place. So now our latest information, the totals are going down. Now, does this mean we're not going to get much at all? There's still, you know, I would say let's stick with the advisories and the warnings that we have for another couple weather model runs. We don't have, the storm isn't here yet. We still got another little less than 24 hours until we actually get some of this snowfall. Just looking at some comments here. So that's just some of the process that we're looking at. Again, take time, wait for good data. Find some trusted sources on your social media. If you find time after time that you're just getting scared by week away maps and that never happens, then that might not be something you want to waste your time on. Okay, moving ahead here. Tonight we're down to the teens with some light snow, especially over the northern half of the area. And then tomorrow we're looking at highs, we're looking at 20 to 30 north to south, basically is our highs. 7-day forecast, weather impact alert tomorrow night through Wednesday with the snow on the way. Looking kind of lightish, 1 to 3 northern half of the area. Might see a little bit more off to the south. Hunter, so no snow. No, there's a snow chance in the morning. I'm going to go through all this again because we get people that pop on a little bit later, miss the timing. But yeah, looking at maybe like a dusting, half inch or less over the northern half of the area, especially tomorrow morning, Hunter. For Crawford County. I'll show you the maps here in just a second. If you hold on just a little bit longer. Okay, so then below freezing through Friday, above freezing this weekend, 50 Monday. I was looking at some of the longer range data, just the temperature trend, and it looked like maybe 40s next week. So maybe we'll get rid of some of this polar air for a while. All right, let's reset all of this. If you're just tuning in, Noel, thanks for watching. Lillian, thank you for tuning in here. Ryan's talking about JCPS will definitely do NTI if we get anything that sticks. Yeah, that's pretty easy bet there. All right, weather impact alert, 7 p.m. tomorrow until noon Wednesday because of the slick road potential, especially Wednesday morning. So far, all the weather model data has led us up to this, which is a winter weather advisory from the National Weather Service. Interstate 64 north, around 2 to 3. That might be getting lower, might be 1 to 2. And then Bullitt County south, 3 to 6. Will we see this storm weaken and move south? Chance, there's that chance. All right. This is just a look at the river flood warnings that we have all across the area. They're cresting, the smaller rivers cresting today and tomorrow. Ohio River cresting Thursday, and maybe like 4 or 5 feet above minor flood stage. And Hunter, we're going to get there. Just one second. 23 and 25 current temperatures out there. Margaret from Portland, thanks for watching. Current temps, upper teens and 20s. High today, 28, 21 below normal. There's some snow just starting to develop out to our west. And that's that little batch, that little appetizer that's coming in overnight, early tomorrow morning. Not much happening right now. And it's all coming from that Arctic air up to the northwest. Okay, let's look at the futurecast again here. We'll take it hour by hour. So for tonight, notice from that snow out west, it starts to creep in during the late overnight hours, around 3, 4 o'clock. And you notice at times yesterday, it was cold enough. It didn't take much snow to cause some slick spots and blowing of snow. So it won't take much. When you're in the teens, the pavement is already very cold. It's kind of a light, fluffy snow because of how cold it is. So we're looking at maybe like a ½ inch or less. And with it being able to stick, it can certainly cause some slick spots for tomorrow morning. Teresa, stay tuned. We're getting some more data in here. We're going to go over Futurecast right now. Margaret, good question. 31 days until spring. We'll see. All right, looking ahead here, tomorrow morning, after that little light batch, overnight, early tomorrow morning, we're mostly dry into the afternoon, maybe a couple flurries. I'm with you, Dorothy. I'm with you. Same page. All right, here we go to the winter storm warning beginning and winter weather advisory. So the latest trend that we just watched the data come in together a few seconds ago with our latest Futurecast is more of a southward trend. So this is 8 p.m. tomorrow, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. So along and south of the parkways, looks like the steadier snow chance. But we're going to get a new weather model, fresh weather model data in tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. So still some adjustments to be made, but the trend is lighter. Stephen, I don't see anything warm for a while. All right, here we go. So there's the snow, 7 a.m. tomorrow and starting to move off. So let's all look at this together. This is trending more south with that heavier snow. And then kind of fading away through Wednesday morning. And then here's Wednesday afternoon. Very cold, very cold. All right, so this is the latest data from the graph weather model, which powers our Futurecast. And it's showing some lighter amounts, like 1-2 inches in the advisory area. And really putting those lighter snowfall totals a little bit farther south. Breckenridge was asked earlier. Right now it's showing around 2 to 3 inches in Breckenridge County. And those bigger 3, 4, 5 inch amounts right now are still down towards Litchfield, Munfordville, Campbellsville, Greensburg, Columbia, maybe Hodgenville, Lebanon, Elizabethtown right on the edge there. Beverly, I'm done with it as well. All right, so that's kind of the trend right now. Kind of cool to watch it all the data come in with the latest weather model run. Again, our Futurecast here updates several times a day, and it's chugging on all the latest information and weather observations, and that I'd say over the last 24 hours, with almost all the weather models, the trend has been coming in for some lower snowfall totals. For me, I hope that happens. Smaller impacts for us across the area. I've had enough snow. We've had 19 inches of snow in Louisville. I think you get a little bit above 23. You're looking at top 10 for December, January, February. So right now, again, winter weather advisory, 1 to 3 possible northern half of the area, I-64 north, 3 to 6 south. Just kind of keep it in the back of your mind, those totals might start trending downward a little bit as that system moves in. And of course, if you're up early, we got Good Morning Kentuckiana and meteorologist Mallory Schnell will give you all the latest updates on that. I'll be back tomorrow, 4, 5, 6, 11. I'll be pouring over a lot of this as well, coming up on the night team in about 50 minutes. All right, you guys have a great night here at 10:10 on this February 17th, 2025. Again, 31 days till spring. We'll get there one day at a time. We're getting closer. As the snowman himself, Doug Proffitt, enters the studio, I will sign off here. So have a great night. We'll see you on the night team.